Thank you, Minister. That's certainly given us a great deal of food for thought for particularly this afternoon's Spectrum panel. I think that set the stage very well for the beginning of our conference. Thank you again. The second keynote speaker is our host from the National Media and Information Communications Authority of Hungary, the Vice President for Electronic Communications, Gábor Mátrai. Gábor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chris. First of all, good morning for everybody. I would like to report to you that we solved the first broadband problem during this morning, since the registration traffic control was managed well, so everybody could register in a smooth way. So that's first remark. Ladies and gentlemen, dear distinguished guests, dear colleagues, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you at the conference All for Broadband, Broadband for All. I am honored to do this in the name of the President of the National Media and Infocommunications Authority, Hungary, Anna-Mária who due to some unforeseen reasons is not able to join to us today. Before I start, let me share with you an introductory thought concerning the conference. Although this conference is hosted and organized by the newly established converged Hungarian Media and Infocommunication Authority, this is not a regulatory conference. Instead of that, our conference attempts to provide an international discussion forum for the main stakeholders, key actors, not only for regulators and not only from Europe, who are all for broadband, to share their views, ideas, experiences, actions, best practices, advices, lessons learned, but of course their criticism and concerns as well about the universal objective of broadband for all. Dear colleague, exactly 1 year ago, on 3rd of March 2010, the European Commission published the proposal for a new economic strategy, Europe 2020. A European strategy for smart, sustainable and inclusive growth for the EU economy to be prepared for the next decade. As you are all aware of, in order to meet the defined targets of the Commission proposed, the Europe 2020 agenda, consisting of series of flagship initiatives to be implemented via action plans, both at EU and national levels. One of the most ambitious flagship initiatives detailed in the strategy has been a digital agenda for Europe with the aim to deliver sustainable economic and social benefits from digital single market, from digital Europe, based on fast and ultra-fast internet and interoperable applications, with broadband access for all by 2013, access for all too much higher internet speed, 30 megabits or above, by 2020, and 50% or more of European households subscribing to internet connection above 100 megabit per second. 1 year after the Europe 2020 initiative was announced, we cannot take a breath to pause and reflect on where we stand and how far have come in terms of achieving our goals, as well as on steps we have taken. It is also useful to examine whether it would be necessary for us to reconsider our priorities or fine-tune any aspects thereof. To that end, let me remind you the key priorities, goals, and the 7 pillars of the digital agenda. Pillar 1 is about the digital single market. It is an overarching pillar which is in strong relationship with and dependency of the other 6 pillars. In my understanding, we will be successful in achieving the digital single market only if we are to deliver tangible results concerning the other 6 pillars. Our conference is mainly focusing on the pillar 4, named fast and ultra-fast internet. However, due to the strong interrelation of the pillars of the digital agenda, it is unavoidable to deal with content, services, and applications as well. There are no doubts that the digital agenda targets are ambitious targets. However, if we are to create a digital Europe, we still have a long journey ahead of us. Besides infrastructure, digital confidence, both for individuals and the public at large, digital public security, improving our digital literacy, and ensuring that the most advanced infocommunication technologies and services are accessible and available to everyone are fundamental factors. Meanwhile, fundamental factors, yes, and next is, we are presently witnessing the world of infocommunications development at an unprecedented rate. This process of digital transformation revolution has profound impacts on our everyday lives. While it is also providing an opportunity for effective renewal on a social, economic and state level, decisions to be made and steps to be taken in the upcoming years are likely to set the course for Europe's future and lay the groundwork for maintaining its long-term competitiveness. In the domain of digital technologies, as the processes of convergence accelerate, digital services are increasingly being offered by integrated service providers. These services are also being more converged. This means, on one hand, the merging of content, special applications, and transmission technologies. On the other hand, the concurrent availability, utilization of various content transmission, on the other hand, the concurrent availability, utilization of various content applications and communication services requiring ever higher bandwidth, in addition to the widespread use of fixed line, wireless and mobile technologies. As technologies advance and transport capacities expand, a growing number of more diverse and more specialized services and solutions, customized to meet individual user needs, can be made available, thus creating more intense next-generation competition, let's name it NGC. This new type of competition, together with factors such as the typical examples of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal integration across the digital value chain, the appearance of new devices and services, as well as the transformation of consumption and consumer habits combined, are radically reshaping the digital ecosystem. Meanwhile, however, it is obvious that the unfolding of new digital ecosystem is being hindered by crucial factors both on the supply and demand side. Key supply side challenges are the rapid establishment of high-quality broadband coverage, solving the issue of areas currently without broadband, promotion of network investments, efficient and harmonized spectrum policy, and lastly, making quality services available for all at reasonable prices. On the demand side, the main challenges are motivating and enhancing the digital literacy of households and enterprises, while also strengthening their digital self-confidence and ensuring their trust and security. This also requires closing generation, demographic and regional gaps, eliminating mistrust and encouraging online activities. In my understanding, the most important task for the upcoming years, the removal of supply and demand side obstacles hindering to use and mass consumption of broadband services. This must be achieved in a way that can enable or rather ensure further dynamic advancement in the field of infocommunications while also contributing effectively to the modernization of society, government and the overall economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we must ask ourselves, why removing obstacles are fundamental to our future potentials. Firstly, because of its key role in social and economic modernization. The accessibility of infocommunication services, together with their extent to use, plays a fundamental role in the development of society and of the national economy, both on the level of individuals and enterprises. Being one of the decisive driving forces behind economic growth, it is of special importance in fueling the process of the post-crisis recovery. In addition to its role in direct value creation, it also carries a significant indirect multiplier effect, for it acts as a catalyst for the development of other industries, helps job creation and employment, contributes to easier job access, supports equal opportunity both on a geographic and social level, and promotes rural and regional development. Moreover, it is ensured information access and information supply yielding new opportunities in the development of political and entrepreneurial culture as well. Modernization of society and economy include securing citizens equal opportunities and enhancing their quality of life, improving enterprises' adaptability and competitiveness, achieving a simplified, more transparent, cost-efficient and effective functioning of state. Secondly, because of modern communications infrastructure, a broad range of services have a fundamental enabler role. As I pointed out earlier, convergence processes are being more intense, reshaping the business model for the info communication market and the services available therein. Along this convergence path, networks, applications, and content have become identically value-driving forces of progress. As a result, the opportunities presented by application and content development are becoming increasingly interconnected with network development. Providing new generation, higher value-added services will require significant enhancements, developments, and the quality renewal in communication infrastructures. Built on IP technology, next-generation networks ensure that various services and applications can be channeled onto a single common network, allowing for the widespread availability of flexible solutions that can be adjusted to meet special user needs. Modernizing the communications infrastructure and broad range of services include promoting the development of next-generation networks, ensuring access to a comprehensive range of digital services, attaining a greater rate of penetration for mobile and wireless services, improving the efficiency of spectrum management, broadening consumers' digital literacy and enhancing their awareness of converged services. In summary, removing of demand and supply side obstacles must contribute to the enhancement of social and economic welfare and competitiveness, as well as the sustainable long-term growth. Dear colleagues, let me also share with you shortly some thoughts on the role of regulators. Obviously, national regulatory authorities play an important role in implementing the digital agenda. Being a regulator in such fast-changing environment, our most fundamental guiding principle must be to serve the public interest. This is a nice principle, but how we can implement it in the practice? Instead of giving a definite answer to this question or a long presentation on it, I intend to highlight how we plan to put this principle into practice. I would like to call your attention to another document which is in my belief will help us to get closer to achieve the digital agenda targets. It is not a European level document, but for us at the National Media and Infocommunications Authority Hungary, it has a great importance. Early this week, we have published our action plan for 2011. The action plan includes 9 main actions areas, which are closely related to the market developments described earlier in my speech. We believe that this action plan will significantly contribute to the flourishing media and communications market in Hungary and thus a strong Europe. In complying the program for our conference, we have taken the themes and strategic directions of the digital agenda as a basis and made all efforts to ensure that each stakeholder's representatives can express and share their opinions and thoughts. It is our firm belief that success will only come if we all think together and work together towards reaching our goals while also ensuring that all available human, natural and financial resources are put into action as effectively as possible. We are also aware that not all member states face the same challenges, since even in the EU they have rather different social and economic heritage. Therefore, program harmonization, getting acquainted with and the adaptation of international best practices are of fundamental importance. This is especially important in the creation or fine-tuning of national broadband strategies and to be in line with the next generation competition, let's call it NGC. Ladies and gentlemen, with this conference we intend to establish a new tradition. The National Media and Infocommunications Authority would like to organize similar conferences on an annual basis. I hope that you will enjoy this conference and you will contribute to our common thinking and joint actions, not only today, but in the following years as well. Thank you for your attention.